Hey guys, what's up? WQ here, and I wanted to show you guys something fucking huge. I stopped resetting a week ago. 7 days ago, I stopped resetting. I said no more resets. I don't need to reset. I have no reason to reset. Let's log my runs. Let's log my runs a little bit. Let's see what changes I go through because this is kind of a big deal. I've seen zero speedrunners. I've heard of zero speedrunners doing a consistent amount of no reset runs over a very long period of time. True no reset runs. I've never heard of it. Actually, the only person I've ever heard do it is Zelna. And I don't even know how true that is because he was doing only races over a very long period of time. And he never forfeit and he never RTA'd outside of that. So it wasn't true honest no reset runs. But it was effectively true honest no reset runs. Because he never reset over at least 6 months to a year and a half. And Zelna's posting big results all the time. We already know he's winning all the time, right? But I'm posting 148, 138, 131, 140, 131, another 142 here, 128, 22. What happened? A blue balls. Okay, that's not that bad. 2 deaths. Look at these 2 deaths, 2 deaths, 2 deaths. I fell the mold on this run. What happened here? I think I fell a mold arm or something. I'm not posting big ones, but I wanted to show you guys this because this is the beginning. We're first run 125-20 with 5 blue orbs. It's not that bad, but I died. What wasn't a particularly good run. I saved time on 2 splits. Not a particularly good run. Next run 138, 125, 128. So 5 runs deep, I got a 124. I like a 124. Honestly, I feel like I can get a 124 every run. It's not happening. 5 runs in a row, all of them bad. Another good run. Cool. We have 2 good runs out of 12 runs, right? That seems about average for me, honestly, lifetime. 3 bad runs. 142.18. How did I get a 142.18? There's no way in Link to Past you can get a 142 through dying. Plus, worse splits, 17 minutes. There's no way in Link to Past you can lose 17 minutes on a split unless you completely give up. If you completely give up and you consecutively die, you got it. If you AFK though, this is exactly what happened. If you AFK for 15 minutes, you're gonna lose 15 minutes. You're gonna lose 17 minutes on a split. And this is exactly what happened. And this, honestly, this is the biggest struggle for me. And this is why I'm doing no reset runs, is because my attitude when I started this runs was one of the worst it's been my whole career. And as far as speedrunners go, it's not that bad, but it's pretty bad. I mean, we're talking the bottom 10 percentile of like good attitude, easily. Maybe bottom 1 percentile. I mean, this is a train wreck. These are very difficult to do, right? And honestly, I'm feeling a lot better. These last 5 runs, all 124s. My gameplay is dramatically improved. I'm not dying as much. And a lot of this, I can guarantee you, a lot of this is actually because I'm making positive efforts to not die. A lot of it is that. There's a luck factor. I mean, look at the blue balls. There's definitely a luck factor. And there's definitely a factor with my hands because here's the thing about doing these no reset runs. My stream became more consistent and became more balanced. And so what happened is I said, hey, you know what? Let's try to make a real effort to fix my hand problems because of my streams are balanced, right? So I'm not sure if these 5 124s in a row. By the way, these runs are much better than the time. These runs are actually very good, and I'll show you that. This is the worst part of the run, plus 45. This is my Delta PB, plus 33. I saved 12 seconds. From the worst part of the run to the end of the run, I saved 12 seconds. That's a miracle. That's huge. That's really good. It's very good. I've done that pretty much never. Well, 2 runs later, I do it again. I saved 7 seconds. Worst part of the run, 2 to the end of the run, I saved 7 seconds. I've never done this. I've never done this since I PB'd. Never did it before I PB'd. I do it twice. And I fell a mold on this run, 124.6. I lost 30 seconds in light roll this run. These are very good runs. So yeah, there's benefits that my hands are feeling better and I'm probably in an upswing right now. But there's more going on here because the thing is, my attitude was so bad when I started. This is what would happen. I would do a run, I'd start out plus 30, I would get mad, I would die, and then I quit. I would AFK. But I don't reset anymore. I can't reset, right? Resetting is not an option. So I'm not going to reset. So I just sit there for 10 minutes because I'm so frustrated. I'm so mad. I can't play the game. I can't play the game, so I'm staring at my TV and I'm just thinking, like, what the fuck, right? And you do it 4 or 5 times in a row. I did a no reset run before this. It's not recorded. It was a 140. It was a 149, I think. It was the worst one. It was the same problem where I'm just staring in front of my TV, like, what the hell do I do here? And the thing is, if you do it 4 or 5 times in a row, it starts to get to the type of thing where it's like, you know what? I'm gonna lose 10 minutes if I AFK. I'm gonna lose 1 minute if I get back into the run and I'm just mad. If I just play salty and play upset, but I still play the game and play conservative to not die, I'm going to lose 1, maybe 2 minutes. I'm not going to lose 10 minutes. And that's the thing you start to realize, and it goes deeper. 124.36. This is the last run I did. What happened at the start of this run? Horrible escape split. Horrible Eastern split. I almost died twice in Eastern. I made positive moves to not die. I was plus 20 out of Eastern. I made positive moves to not die, though. Plus 20 is a lot better than plus 2 minutes. It's a lot better than plus 15 minutes. Landmo. Third split. Terrible. Fourth split. I failed the multi. I'm plus 50 at the end of the fourth split. This is a horrible run. It's completely dead, right? But no issue. I keep going. Dark World, really good. Ends up actually probably be my best run ever. If you look at the movement, if you look at the core of what's happening, this is probably my best run ever. And it's a lot of that. It's not AFKing. It's not resetting. I honestly think the not resetting is completely dramatically changing my gameplay. Completely dramatically. I've completely upgraded, and I want to see, the reason I'm making this vlog actually, I want to see if someone else can do this. I honestly don't think so. I've tried it in the past. I've never been able to. I've done a significant amount of no reset runs for a short period of time, often enough in my career, and always what happens afterwards is I'm playing incredible. Always afterwards I'm playing really good, but then because I'm playing so good, I start resetting and then I go back into my playing bad. That's always happened in my life, and I want to see. First of all, I think 27 runs of data, I don't think that's enough. 27 runs over a week of data, not a whole lot of data. I'm expecting to do at least 12 weeks of no reset runs. So 1 week of data over 27 runs. 27 runs is a lot, but it's not that much, and 1 week's really not that much. So I want to see what happens more after this going from here on. And I also, what I want to see the most is, can somebody else do this? Can somebody else? And I don't think all speedrunners are ragers, right? There's a lot of speedrunners who don't like raging, but their gameplay is, they get frustrated by their gameplay. They get stuck in reset loops. The gameplay is a problem, right? And that's kind of been my big argument forever. It's the gameplay is the problem. If you're raging, it doesn't really matter. If the gameplay is bad, then if you stop raging, it doesn't fix the gameplay, right? But if you do a no reset run, what happens is it does fix the gameplay. It does change the gameplay because you can't. There's no excuse. You can't run away. You have to finish the run no matter what. And I think eventually, this is random. It's turning up. I haven't died in 6 runs. Well, I haven't died in 4 runs. Honestly, I don't think I should die any run. I don't think I should die any run, and I think every run should be a 124. I do within RNG, within reason. That's not happening. It's not happening. It's far from happening. And honestly, in the course of my whole life, it's never happened. Well, it might start happening. 100 runs from now, I'll have a different story. 100 runs from now, I can tell you guys something different. I can't tell you something right now, but I want to see someone else do this, because I think a player who resets a lot, gets stuck in these reset loops, gets frustrated a lot. I think if they force themselves to do no reset runs, a significant amount of pure no reset runs over a very long period of time, I think they'll see a huge upswing. Unintentionally. Now, I don't agree with that, because I think unless it's natural, unless it makes sense to you, don't do it. So I don't think it's possible even for someone to force themselves to do no reset runs. Again, every time in my career I do no reset runs, I profit heavily afterwards, but the problem is I start resetting again and it all goes away. I want to see if someone can force themselves to do no reset runs. Are they going to keep that profit? Can they force themselves? It's not easy to AFK for 15 minutes and keep going, guys. It's really not. And it's hard when you do it 5 runs in a row. It's hard when you do it. This is 5 runs in a row that all died. How many deaths were in these runs? 2, 4, 6, 7, 10 runs. I died 10 times within 7 runs. That's not easy, And look at this Delta PB. 18 minutes, 3 minutes, 6 minutes, 2 minutes. I had a good run, 44 seconds. That's a good run. 7 minutes. Back to bad runs again, 3 minutes, a minute 50. But then they started getting better. Minute 4, minute 19, 33 seconds. A minute 26, a minute 3, and you don't see the full story. A minute 3, I was plus 44 at the third split. Minute 26, I was plus a minute at the end of Light World. Plus 33, I lost 30 in Light World. These runs do not tell the whole story. These runs are far better than the times, and that's fine. I don't even care that they're better than the times, because I think these times is fine themselves are acceptable. 124.59, I'm okay with that. I don't mind it. If I get it every now and then, I don't really mind it. With one blue ball, not the best run in the world, right? But whatever, it's okay. What actually happened in this run is far better than the time. Way better, and to me that's what's mind blowing, and my attitude's completely improved. I honestly probably have one of the better mentalities of any speedrunner. My mentality as a speedrunner is probably in the top 99th percentile. Before it was in the bottom 10th percentile, and it only took 1 week. It took 1 week. I mean, I'll do a run, and halfway through the run I'm laughing. Halfway through the run I make a huge error. I lose 20 seconds on a gold split, and I'm laughing. And usually I'm raging. Usually at that point I would give up. Usually at the point I would throw my controller on the ground. I'd freak out and I'd have a breakdown. And I was doing this once a week for the past 4 years. Actually, it's past 3 years. I've been doing this once a week for the past 3 years, having these breakdowns. Not anymore. This past week, my attitude, every single day I play, my attitude gets better. I reset less. My runs get better. It's huge. And actually, the thing is, it's helping my stream. It's helping my stream. I'm feeling better. I think my viewers are feeling better. So I'm feeling more confident too. I'm feeling a lot more confident, and I'm actually. I think it's going to benefit me a lot in the long run. So anyway, guys, if you're interested in this, make sure to copy paste, or if you want, copy paste my my format. Maybe tinker a little bit, if your run's different. Maybe you don't really care about data so much. Maybe you just want to log the times. Maybe you don't care at all. You just want to do the reset runs and see the immediate improvement, almost immediate, dramatic improvement. 1 week of time in speedrunning, it's not that big of a deal. It's not that long to see such a huge improvement already. And this is the beginning. I don't feel like I've improved at all. This is mind blowing. This is incredible. So yeah, here's another thing. Look at my average splits. It started at 128. 128 average is extremely bad for me. It's extremely bad. But you know why? It's because I keep dying. You lose 12 minutes, my average goes up 3 minutes. But then next run next run is a 125, which is okay, but my average it starts going down back to 128. 128 is not a good average, guys. Guess what? I AFK, I die. I keep dying. My average the first 20 runs it didn't change at all. It went from a 128.45 to a 128.30. There's no difference here, right? In the past 8 runs, it's a 125.18, and 125.18 was average before. Before I started doing these, and I would reset, and I would finish most runs. I would finish runs that didn't die. If I didn't lose any major time anywhere, I would finish it, If I didn't want to reset, I would finish it. But for the most part, realistically, I don't know how much I was resetting. And you would only finish the good runs. My average hovered from about 124.55 to 125.55. That's what my average hovered around. Well, right now it's 125.18, doing pure, honest, true, no reset runs. So I've seen a huge improvement in my average also, and this is an honest average. This is a true, honest average. I've never had a true, honest average before, and this is the best it's ever been in. So I think that's pretty huge. And yeah, I want to see. Can someone else do this? Can someone else do a lot of no reset runs over a very long period of time, and report back? You don't have to report back, but what's going to happen? What's going to happen to that player? Because I don't think it's possible. I think the only reason I'm doing these no reset runs is because in my brain, it doesn't make sense to reset. It makes no sense to reset. You can't reset. So I just stop resetting. Even if you AFK for 20 minutes, even if you AFK for 2 hours, it doesn't matter. If you start the run, it has to finish, right? So that's what I started doing, and might as well log the times. Can someone else do this, right? And then actually another thing, I'm thinking, what's deeper? What's the next step? And honestly, I'm not 100% sold, and this is where I don't think a player who wants to reset can do no reset runs. A significant amount of real no reset runs over a long period of time. I don't think they can. I think it's impossible. Their brain doesn't make sense to them. That's the thing. A lot of people ask me, why did they stop resetting? Well, it doesn't make sense in their brain. Or in my brain, there's no question. In fact, you can't reset. I'm asking other reset runners, why are they resetting? I don't understand why anyone would reset now. Nowadays, I don't. Well, what about timerless runs? Doing a run without a timer. And why would you do a run without a timer? Well, that's exactly the question. Because I think doing a run without a timer is it's far greater than doing anything else you can do. Because there's no reward. There's no reward, and so you can't be... There's no greed. But you're still going to have that human instinct where you're trying to get golds, you're trying to do well. When you do well, that anxiety hits you, right? It's still going to hit you. That's not going to go away. People always try to gimmick anxiety by hiding their splits, not looking at their splits, using less splits, using different splits. It doesn't work. You can't gimmick anxiety, right? And so the thing is, if you get rid of your truly get rid of any timer, and no recording as well, there's no reward. And so you're still going to have that anxiety, but I think what it's going to happen over a long period of time is you're going to wonder, why am I anxious? Where is the anxiety? Why am I anxious? And then why am I doing what I'm doing? This is what's important. Why am I doing what I'm doing? Because if you die, it doesn't matter. If you do a room perfectly, it doesn't matter. If you mess up barely, it doesn't matter. Nothing matters anymore. There's no timer and there's no gold splits. None of this stuff matters. And so I think what happens is, like, what if you just AFK? What if you just give up and you just kind of play lazily in a true no reset timerless run? It's the same as getting a world record. There's no difference because there's no timer, right? And so I think the player then eventually what happens in the brain, the process is you have to ask yourself, why am I doing what I'm doing? You really have to ask yourself, and you really have to figure it out, because the thing about speedrunning is there's no reason to not try your hardest. There's no reason to give up. There's no reason to not make an effort even when it seems hopeless. What's the reason, right? But in a timerless run, now you have to ask yourself these questions. And it really matters too, because what's the motivation? What's the motivation of playing in a timerless run if you can't get anything out of it, right? But there's no reason to not try your hardest. So what's the motivation here, right? So then I think that what's going to happen is the brain process, it becomes internal. It becomes internal motivation, and when you get internal natural motivation, you're going to succeed far greater. Now, my argument is that you can't do that. You can't force yourself to do it. You can't do it. It has to make sense. It has to make sense in the brain. And to me, it makes a little sense, but ultimately, I'm not going to do it. It doesn't make sense to me. I can't do it. I have all these arbitrary restrictions. I just can't do it. And it's the same reason I don't think people can do a significant number of no reset runs. I really want people to. A few people have said, hey, you know what? Maybe I'm going to try this out. They've seen my results and my improvement. They've seen the dramatic improvement that I've done. And not just the improvement in my gameplay and the improvement in the results. I mean, I have proof. There's proof right here. They've seen the proof in my mentality too. And I'm always going against mentality. I'm saying mentality's made up. It's not real. Ignore it. If you want to improve your mentality, the best way you can improve your mentality is by ignoring it. Well, nobody believes me on that, right? But look at the proof. My mentality is better than everybody else. And guess how I fixed it? I completely ignored it, and then I just started doing no reset runs, and boom, it was immediately fixed. I immediately had the best mentality of any speedrunner. The reason this makes sense is because you don't control mentality. You basically just don't control mentality at all. So why would you try to change something you don't control? Doesn't make any sense. So anyway, if you guys do this, let me know how you grow from this and how you change. The thing about Link to Past is it's a very consistent game, so it's fun, and it's fun to do runs. So I think you benefit a lot. But in games like Mario World or maybe some like shorter games that like have a lot of reset points, it might be more punishing. Personally, I don't think this is true at all, and I'm going to leave you guys with one question. If you PB, you're not a better speedrunner. You're not a better player. You're not a better speedrunner if you PB. So why is the goal to PB? So if you do no reset runs in a game like Super Mario World, where the run's going to die, 9 out of 10 runs are going to die in the first world, why is it a bad thing? Why is this a problem? If you grind out a PB, you're not a better player. You don't gain anything out of it, right? What's the difference between doing 10 runs in a row, they're all dead instantly, versus doing 10 resets and then PBing on the 10th one? And let's just say it's a god level PB. It's the best PB in the world. No one can beat it. It's the best run of all history, right? Why does that matter? You're not a better player. You can't improve as a player by PBing. Logically, it doesn't make any sense. So I want to leave you guys with that, and I hope people pick up on this, or at least maybe we'll see what happens. Maybe the whole speedrunning metagame is going to change, and people are going to start doing true no reset runs, honest no reset runs, and maybe even timerless runs one day. And we're going to see some real changes in the speedrunning community.